Job done. Yes, people. Welcome back to another Arsenal match reaction. Brilliant victory for Arsenal. 2-0 against Sevilla. I mean, obviously, you'll look at the scoreline and think, well, Arsenal didn't run away with this. It was still only 2-0. But anyone that watched the game would know that that was a complete domination job by Arsenal. Sevilla took to the 97th minute to even get a shot in that whole game. Not even a shot on target, a shot in that whole game. We had complete control of this football match. I'm disappointed in Sevilla, to be honest. They didn't put up more of a fight. But for Arsenal, job done. 9 points out of 12. Exactly what the doctor ordered. Some really good performers in there today. And we needed this because we've lost our last two matches against West Ham and against Newcastle. Knocked out the Carabao Cup. Lost our unbeaten streak in the Premier League. We need to go against Sevilla and really put some hurt on the opponent. How many times do I say that? When you lose a football match, a really good team responds to a loss with a really big win in their following match. And a big win doesn't necessarily mean that you win 6-5-0. It just means a really dominating, controlled performance where you take out all the punishment on your opposition. I feel like we did that today against Sevilla. We really did the right thing today. Went into the game, started on the fast front foot. I've said that. How many times this season do we not start on the front foot? I feel like it's too much of an occasion now where we're just casually going into football games. Today we were on them from minute one, attacking them, getting the ball to the danger men like Martinelli and Saka and making things happen. Let's go for the whole game, starting with the goals. I mean, beautiful pass from Jorginho. Saka making the classic into-out run where you fake inside and then running behind the defender. Falls for it every single time. He goes in behind and then Trossard on the plate for him to lay it home. Fantastic goal. Don't know about the celebration though. Celebration wasn't great to be honest, but brilliant goal. And then our second goal as well. Brilliant as well. Zinchenko this time. Brilliant throw. How many times do coaches say this? I know my coach used to tell me this a lot when I was growing up playing football. He used to say, speaking sometimes is good in football, but speak with the ball. And what he means by that is your pass tells your teammate what you want him to do with it. The way Zinchenko threw that ball, it was perfect for Martinelli to roll the defender and run onto it. He didn't throw the ball to Martinelli. He threw the ball exactly where he wanted Martinelli to go. And then once Martinelli had that, oh, sorry, not Martinelli. Was it Martinelli or Trossard? It was one of the two. But either one of them got the ball, then they played through Saka. And this was composure, what I'm talking about that I need from Bukayo Saka. Got the ball, cuts inside, sits down the defender, and strokes home to win 2-0. Convincing, controlling victory. And meanwhile, Gabriel Martinelli, bro. Congratulations, my friend. Man of the match. Did not score today. Did not even get... He might have got an assist. I can't remember. But the point of the matter is that he had a superb game today, Gabriel Martinelli. He ran a truck on that Joselu, how do you pronounce his name? Juan Lu guy. How do you pronounce his name? He was going to have nightmares tonight about Gabriel Martinelli. Genuinely. Martinelli was superb the whole game. He was running ragged. Every time he got the ball, it looked like it was going to be danger time. Genuinely scary hours for him. So I really love Martinelli's performance today. He was really direct with the football. Equally, Saka on the other side as well. Saka had the output today. Goal and assist, exactly what we need from him. I've been saying that I believe Saka's been a little bit quiet this season. I don't want to dig him out because he is our star boy. I love him to absolute bits. But I am right in saying Saka's been a little bit quiet this season. He started it on fire with a superb goal against Forest. But since then, has kind of tailed off, not quite hit the heights of last season. But I think that's been true for most of the attacking players for a fact. I don't think that many players have reached the heights of last season. I think I'm true when I'm saying that. Another thing I will say is, right, that with this Arsenal team, we need them to step up now. We really need them to step up because this was a really good performance from Martinelli, Saka, Trossard down the middle as well. I've been calling for Arteta to drop Nketiah and play Trossard down the middle, and look what's happened. Some beautiful things. We've got Burnley on the weekend. We've then obviously got the international break, so we can get some bodies back as well. It's good times for Arsenal. Very good times. Because let's be honest, Burnley at home on Saturday, 3 p.m. kickoff. We have to win that football match. Let's be honest, guys, it's Burnley. We should not be struggling in that game. It should be just like the Sheffield United game a fortnight ago. It should be a banker 3 points. I don't want to call anything too soon, but you get what I mean. We should not be sitting there scratching about, taking too long. I want to hit that Burnley game, right, and be on it from minute one, just like today. Our two home games in the Champions League against PSV and Sevilla. 6-0 in aggregate across both games. 0 goals conceded. And both games we've started fast on the front foot. And I like to see that happen from our Arsenal team. I don't want to see us sleepwalk into the games. I made a point in my preview because I preview every single Arsenal game on this channel. Become a channel member, by the way. First link in the description to check out all my Arsenal preview shows. And subscribe if you are new around here. I'm already 5,000 subscribers. But yeah, in my preview, I said that in the Premier League, Arsenal is one of only 2 or 3 teams that have not scored in the first 15 minutes of Premier League matches. What does that show you? We're not quite starting quick enough. Last season, we were on them from minute one, the opposition. Front foot, attacking early. Do you remember the goal against Liverpool in the Premier League? It was after like, what, 45 seconds Martinelli scored? I want to see more of that this season. I feel like this season we've been a bit slow in games, a bit more controlled. Now, I understand why it's been happening. Some people saying Arsenal are worse than last season. It looks like that because of how we're playing, but I don't think we're worse. I just think we're playing more controlled. We're playing a bit better defensively. If you look at the stats in the Premier League, Arsenal's got the best defense in the Premier League. We've conceded the most amount of goals. We've conceded the least amount of goals. We've faced the least shots on target. We've faced the least XG or something like that. Or if not, it's definitely like top 2 or top 3. So what Arteta's done is rather than try and play the same as last season, which was a bit more gung-ho, a bit more tit for tat, entertaining football, just like Tottenham are playing this season, he wants to actually show us up a bit more. He's putting the handbrake up. He's saying, look, let's try and control games and focus more on our defensive aspects. And that works because we are controlling more matches. But it's taking too much away from the attackers. I understand playing Man City, etc. I understand playing Chelsea away, games like this, Liverpool, Manchester United, control the game. I understand it 100%. But when you play teams like Sheffield United, Burnley, other games played like Everton, etc., we don't need control. At them from minute 1, bro. I want us to play front foot attacking football and go bar for bar with them and try and sweep those teams just like we were doing last season. So I want to see Arsenal play a bit more adaptable because, like I said, the control works. For example, the Man City game. If we played Man City this season like we played them last year, we would have lost the game. This year, we came with a new approach. We played a bit more defensively assured and we grinded out a 1-0 victory. Exactly what you need to do against a team of the caliber of Man City. But against Burnley on the weekend, I don't want to see any of that. I don't want to see any of that defensive style. I want to see us go at them from minute 1. I want to see us score early because Burnley, they're vulnerable and they're going to play a low block. I understand they've got attacking players, but they're going to try and play a low block. I want to see us attack them from minute 1 and try and get goals on the score sheet because we need to get our goal difference up against Burnley on the weekend. But let's talk about the game today, obviously, because that's the main thing. Some standout performance. I thought Jorginho was really good in there. Jorginho is really good when we have control of possession. I was worried about this game because I said in my preview for this match that Sevilla, they're very good defensively and they're going to try and hit us on the counter-attack. These lot did nothing, man. Absolutely nothing. I don't think I've seen a more defensive performance ever. I've watched it with my own 2 eyes. I'd be livid if I was a Sevilla fan watching that game. You've gone to watch your team and they've had 1 shot all game and it was in the 97th minute. You paid to watch your team defend for 95 minutes. That's what you've done. Sevilla did nothing, absolutely nothing all game. It was the most comfortable game I've ever played in my life. The most comfortable game I've ever watched in my life. I could have been playing it was that comfortable. You could have stuck me in goal. We still would have won the game. That's how comfortable it was. So yeah, Sevilla weren't really much of a test. Now, I don't know what to make of them because Sevilla, obviously, their game plan, like it is every year, is drop down to the Europa League anyway. But I expect them to definitely improve in their next game against PSV. But for us on the flip side, like I said, 2 home Champions League games, 2 good results. 6-0 aggregate against PSV and Sevilla. It's looking good. I want us to go far in the Champions League. Guys, let me know in the live chat. How far do you think Arsenal can go in this competition? I think we've got a better chance of winning the Champions League than we do the Premier League, if you ask me. So I think the Champions League, you can win this competition, man. We've seen teams like Tottenham make the final. Inter Milan made the final last year. They're not capable, really, of doing that. Let's be honest, on paper. Inter Milan should not have made the Champions League final. But if you look at it, right, Arsenal can make this final and we can win this competition. Now, if we come up against a Bayern Munich or a Real Madrid or a Man City, obviously we're going to be a little bit outmatched there. They are better teams than us. But if we avoid those teams, and who knows, it's Champions League anyway. Anything can happen. At the Emirates, we've got a good chance against any team in world football. So it's looking good. I mean, on the flip side, you've got Man United. They're currently losing 4-3. That game might even be over, as I'm recording this right now. So they could be out the Champions League, basically, with 3 points out of 12 so far. So if you look at it from Arsenal's point of view, we're looking good. We're looking good, man. We're going to finish top of our group if we win next week against Lens. That means we can rest our players against PSV. It's looking all good in the hood, man, if you ask me. I think we're looking good, guys. And the team's got good balance to it. Really good balance to it now. I think this formation that we played today was good. And when you get to the knockout rounds, it starts in February, right? Which is, we'll have bodies back. Hopefully by then, Partey will be back. Jesus will definitely be back. Urian Timber could be back as well. He'll be a massive miss. He's been a massive miss for us, Timber, bro. When Timber comes back, trust me, this team's going to go up levels because Tomiyasu and Zinchenko are good, right? But the problem is, Tomiyasu's really good defensively, but lacks attacking. And Zinchenko's really good going forward, but lacks defensively. Timber's the best of both worlds. He's shored up defensively, trust me. I've seen enough in the World Cup and enough in that Community Shield against Man City so his brother can defend. Timber's a good defender. Plus, he can actually slot into midfield a little bit more. So I can't wait for Timber to come back into the fold, to be honest, guys. Partey back as well. He's been a massive miss for us. If we get him in the team, we're looking good, man. if you look at Arsenal's strongest 11, and look, I understand that you probably won't play your strongest 11 because of injuries, suspensions, etc. I get it. But Arsenal's strongest 11 on paper, we're a good football team, guys. A very, very good football team. Make no mistake about it. We'll be trouble for any Champions League team. And the quality of the Champions League this season is fallen off, guys. Trust me. Last year was the same. For the past 2-3 seasons, the Champions League has really fallen off. I remember a few years back when you'd have prime MSN. You'd have Real Madrid cooking, Bayern Munich in their prime or cooking. Juventus would always be a tough team to play against. PSG would be a tough team to play against. Nowadays, a lot of the teams are a little bit average. Let's be real. Man City and Real Madrid are really good, and the rest of the teams are beatable. Bayern Munich, you can catch them on a bad day and beat them. I'm not sure what happened with their game between Galatasaray and Bayern Munich, but Galatasaray were holding them for 0-0 for a long time in that game. Napoli aren't at it, really. AC Milan are beatable. United, they're basically out of the competition already. So you can definitely get these teams now, man. Trust me, for an absolute fact. And I think we've got more of a chance to win the Champions League than we do the Premier League, if you ask me, to be honest, guys. And I think we need to take that in stride, because if you ask me, I want to win this Champions League. I want to win it. My club's never won a Champions League. So I want to see us win this competition, and the finals at Wembley as well. So Arsenal, make it happen, man. Obviously, baby steps, one at a time. But this result goes a long way for me in our forward thinking. But to be honest, guys, not only is this result really good, I actually loved the game a few weeks back against Sevilla away from home as well. And this just put the cherry on the cake for me, because now we've got 6 points out of 6 against Sevilla. We've done a double over them. We've proven we can beat them home and away in the Champions League. Because trust me, guys, you think, oh, if we beat them away, we definitely beat them at home. It's not as simple as that. Actually, an interesting stat is that in knockout European football matches, Arteta's not won a home game. Let that digest, guys. In knockout European football matches, and that's Europa League, not Champions League, by the way, Arteta has not won a home game. And we made it to the semi-final of the Europa League under him. We got knocked out to Sporting Lisbon last year. So at home, in knockout rounds of European competitions, we've struggled with Mikel Arteta. So getting the win today, I understand it's a group stage, but against a good caliber team in Sevilla, is really good in my eyes. A really good performance and a really good result as well. Because make no mistake about it, United got duppied 3-0 against Sevilla last season and drew 2-2 at home in the Europa League. So Sevilla aren't any scrubs. I understand that Champions League isn't really their competition. They prefer the step down to the Europa League, but they're still a decent European team. And we made them look like they were in another league right now. And when I say another league, I don't really mean like La Liga, Premier League. I mean, like, if they were in England, we made them look like a championship caliber team. We were that good over them. So I really enjoyed our performance from start to finish today. Some standout performers. And long may it continue, man. Long may it continue. Let's get in some of your comments, by the way. And if you're on your auntie, make sure you do subscribe. My road to 5,000 subscribers. If you love keeping up to date with Arsenal and football match reactions. Jeff, appreciate you joining the stream. I ended up doing really well. I'm really disappointed they couldn't get the third goal. Yes, because you predicted 3-0, right? I predicted 3-1 for this game. So we both got very close. I got the score margin right. You got the score margin right. I got I got the score margin right. You got the fact that it was a clean sheet right. So we were both very close. United have just fallen behind 4-3. Wow. What are the other Champions League results? I know they were down to 10 men and they were 2-0 up and now losing 4-3. Damn, United got rocked. That's sad time. So United lost 4-3 with Rashford getting sent off. Bayern beating Galatasaray. Damn, I really want Galatasaray to win that match. Minor is what it is. PSV have beaten Lens as well. And Lens have got a red card as well. So they're going to be missing a player for their next match. So if you look at it that way, it's all good for Arsenal, man. Many will say that, you didn't want, you wanted Lens to win. So Arsenal guaranteed to go through. Actually, not. I actually wanted PSV to win this match because it blows the group wide open now. And what that means is if we beat Lens on next week, not next week, in a few weeks' time, when we play them at home, if we beat Lens, which we should do, let's be honest, it's Lens, then we're guaranteed to finish top of our group and qualify. Meaning the game in match week 6 against PSV, we can send out the kids, bro. Send the academy there, man. Let Ethan Nwaneri get his Champions League debut or something like that. You get what I mean? So I'm really looking forward to it. But to be honest, guys, I'll be honest. Tell me if you're feeling the same. The group stage is worn off for me now. I'm wanting knockout football. I'm ready for knockout football. I'm ready to see how we perform in aggregate games against the best of the best. Because, guys, look, I'm 21 years old, right? When I first started properly watching football, it was like 2007, 2008. So I watched us the season after we got to the Champions League final, basically. That's when I really started watching football, when I was alive enough to understand what football is. So I've only ever seen my team get absolutely blown apart in the Champions League knockout rounds. We go through the group stage, no problem. This is nothing new for me. Arsenal always seem to fly through the group stage. But then we get to last 16, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, AC Milan, Monaco, and it all falls apart. We get torn to shreds. We get knocked out in the first leg, let alone over 2 legs. It's like 4-0, 5-1 down after 1 leg. So I can't wait for the knockout round this year because we've got the 4th best odds to win this Champions League. We're a different team now. Like I said, we've taken 2 steps back to take 5 steps forwards. We've gone from out the Champions League to now build a team that hopefully can compete in the Champions League, when before we were just making up the numbers. Let's be brutally honest about it. So when we go into these games now against whoever we play in the Champions League, if we finish top of the group, hopefully we will get an easier team, the team that finished second in their respective group. Hopefully we can go far in the Champions League, man, because I want to see my team make a Champions League run. I can't watch the Champions League every season and see all these teams make it far in the competition, and my Arsenal team never gets out of the last 16. I know. Obviously, we haven't been in the Champions League in a while, but even when we were, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, we get ripped apart, man. So I can't wait for the knockout rounds, because that's when I can really see what is our quality at. I can really judge our metric and see, yeah, this Arsenal team's good, or we've been a bit of a fugazi. We're fluking our way through this. So I can't wait to be honest, guys, until we get to knockout rounds. Give Symposia, I appreciate you joining the stream. I think I'm doing really well. We have played very well, especially in the first half. I'm only worried with the Saka injury. True, I agree with you there. We played really well in that first half, man. Like I said, we were on them from minute 1. I've been looking for Arsenal to do that. In my match preview, I said, let's get at them from minute 1, man. Obviously, it helped that Sevilla didn't really play any forward-thinking football. They set up in the biggest low block I think I've ever seen in my life. These brothers did not leave their own half. Yusuf and Naziri had no service up front. It was crazy. He was the most isolated striker I've seen in a long time. So I think that really helped us. But starting on the front foot was really good as well. But I agree with you also with the Saka injury. We didn't need to see that, man. I think Arteta messed up today not making his subs earlier. I understand he wanted to keep his starters on and make sure the game was safe. But as soon as the game went to 2-0, you should have made your subs, man. Saka should have come off. Rice, in my opinion, should have come off. Martinelli should have come off, etc. He didn't. He took too long to make those subs in my eyes. And lo and behold, Saka's come off injured. Now, hopefully it's just a knock and he can run it off in training and be ready for that game against Burnley. Unfortunately, after the Burnley game, we've got a bit of an international break anyway, so we've got some time to recoup and go again. But I will say this, right? We need Saka back fit, because Saka's not been firing this season. But this goal in midweek hopefully can kick him into gear now. Because I'll be honest, guys, yeah? This season, our attackers have not been at the level of last year. Last year, they were on fire. Martinelli, Saka, Ødegaard, Jesus. Basically, all of them were hitting double-digit goals. This season, not really. Let's be real about it. Martinelli's barely scoring. Ødegaard's barely scoring. Saka's barely scoring. Jesus, I know he's been injured a lot of time, but he's barely scoring. Trossard's got a few goals fair, but even he's not scoring to the same quantity that I'd expect. So our attackers have not really been firing this season, if I'm completely honest. So I'm looking to see us get back into the fold again with scoring goals, because if we're going to go far in the Premier League and Champions League, we need goals. I don't care how you look at it. We need goals. And we haven't got a Haaland. We haven't got an Ivan Toney right now. We haven't got a Harry Kane up front. So we need to get goals from all areas. That's how it's got to be. We can't rely on a Bagsman up front to get our goals, because Eddie Nketiah, if it's not Sheffield United or Burnley at home, the brother's not scoring. Let's be real about it. Gabriel Jesus can't stay fit. Havertz, I mean, you saw him today. Does he ever look like scoring? Let's be real about it. He had 2 golden opportunities today he couldn't put home. So I look at it from that standpoint and think, if we're going to get goals, we need to spread them about the team. I'm all for us signing a strike in January. I can't wait till January comes back and I can drop my transfer videos again. That was brilliant during the summer. But we need a striker. But until then, we've still got a month or 2 where we have to rely on Eddie Murphy and Nketiah up front, Gabriel Jesus with his injury crisis, and Leandro Trossard and Kai Havertz. So it's not looking good right now. So we need goals from Saka, Martinelli to start firing, and Ødegaard as well. I know he was injured today, but we need goals from all areas, guys, for an absolute fact. Great result. I agree, man. Superb result. I'm glad we won. Me as well. Performing better in Europe than in the Premier League. True. And I would have thought it'd be the other way around, to be honest. I would have thought we would struggle in Champions League because it's our first year back. But I agree with you. Our 2 home games in the Champions League have been really good. For me, our best performances this season has been PSV at home, Sevilla away, Sevilla at home, Man City in the Charity Shield. I'd say it's been a really good performance as well. I'd say Sheffield United was a really good performance. Everton away was a really good performance. Look at that. Other than that, it's been a bit shaky. Let's be real with it. A little bit shaky, if I'm honest with you guys. I don't think we've string together enough good performances in this season to really say, yeah, we've definitely improved from last year. I think we've been a little bit shaky at times. Yes, we've got past the games, but we've got past grinding out results rather than actually blowing apart teams. In the Champions League today, we blew apart Sevilla. I know the score only says 2-0, but make no mistake about it. We blew them to shreds. This was complete domination from Arsenal. Sevilla barely had the football. Like, genuinely, they had one shot all game and it was the 97th minute. Like, I think most of their fans would have left the stadium by then. Let's be real about it. They came to watch Sevilla defend for 95 minutes. So we dominated today, and I think I like that. But let's carry it forward. Against Lens in a few weeks' time, if we win that game, it's all good, man. 12 points out of 15. We're top of the table. We're going to qualify to the next round. That's exactly what I want to see. Martinelli tortured his defender. Oh, bro. Gabriel Martinelli was cooking today, man. Cooking. He was on fire. That Juan Lu guy, however you pronounce his name, is going to have nightmares tonight. Absolute nightmares, because Martinelli had him on skates, bro. He had him on skates. And this is the thing. When you've got a confident Martinelli, he's a brilliant footballer. Brilliant. The problem is, he doesn't perform like this enough in my eyes. Gabriel Martinelli should be demanding the ball every single time he's isolated. Every time. Because our wingers, both Martinelli and Saka, are dangerous, man. They're dynamic. The way they attack their defenders. They're really good at taking on the man one-on-one. I like watching wingers play. It's my favorite position on a football pitch to watch for a reason. Because they've got their license to take on their defenders. Give me the ball, I'll make something happen. And Gabriel Martinelli was doing that today. He was an absolute pleasure to watch. Pleasure to watch in that stadium. I love watching Martinelli play, bro. Agree, RD12. Appreciate you joining the stream, by the way. That was Saka Martinelli from last season. You see the difference when they play with Trossard. Exactly. And that's why I was saying we need Trossard in the team as well. Because what Trossard gave us was a bit more dynamism. It was a bit more fluid, the front three. No offense to Eddie Nketiah. I understand some people love Eddie Nketiah. But I've said this about Eddie Nketiah for a long time now, yeah? The guy stat pads against bad teams. Let's be real about it. I don't want to be harsh. Are you going to win the Premier League with Eddie Nketiah up front? You're not. Let's be real about it. Be 100% honest, guys. Would Man City have won the treble last season if they had Eddie Nketiah instead of Erling Haaland? They wouldn't have. And I know that's a very simple comparison, but it's the cold, harsh truth. Eddie Nketiah will not win us the Premier League. Yes, he'll score a hat-trick against Sheffield United. And everyone go, oh, your defense is in trouble. Nketiah's in the room. But it's Sheffield United at home. Let's be real about it. We needed him to step up against Newcastle away. He was missing. We needed him to step up against Tottenham at home when he came off the bench. He was missing. Or when he was in that game, sorry. We need him to step up in our games for us. He's gone missing. Whenever it's a big football match, Nketiah goes missing, especially away from home. That's just the truth of the matter. Now, Trossard, obviously, he's not a striker. I prefer him at left wing. But right now, he's the best striker we've got. Let's be real about it, because Jesus is out injured. So I'd start Trossard up front against Burnley on the weekend, especially if Saka's back fit. And regardless of if Nketiah is back fit or not, because I think Trossard down the middle is our best bet until January, when we need to sign a striker. If this club does not sign a striker in January, I promise you it'll be the biggest criminal activity I've seen at Arsenal Football Club. I'm telling you that, guys, for a fact. Because us signing a striker in January quite literally could be the reason we do or do not win the Premier League and/or Champions League. That striker is so important to us, man. And I'm not talking about signing some £20 million Donny from Scandinavia. I'm talking about signing a proper striker, man. Drop the war chest on a striker. 60, 70 million at least. Go to Brentford right now and start negotiating for Ivan Toney. I'm calling it right now, because never have I ever, and I know last season I said the same thing about bringing in a CDM like Caicedo, but never have I ever been more adamant on Arsenal needing a striker to win the title. I genuinely do believe, guys, if we sign Ivan Toney in January, that makes our chance of winning the Premier League and/or Champions League exponentially higher. Our odds shoot up if we sign a striker like Ivan Toney. I'm telling you guys that for a fact, man. Because if we go into the second half of the season with Jesus with his dodgy injury record, Eddie Murphy and Nketiah, and Leandro Trossard up front, with Kai Havertz, who can't score a goal for his life apart from a charity penalty, we're going to struggle in the second half of the season to win the league. I'll be honest. We can win the league. Of course we can. But we need a striker, guys. We're this close, man. The gap ain't far. Trust me, guys, the gap ain't far. You give me a 20-goal-a-season striker, which we should have the pedigree to bring in. We're one of the most exciting teams right now in football. We should be able to knock on the door of Victor Osimhen or Ivan Toney, etc., and try and bring them into the football club. But you bring me a 20-goal-a-season striker, we will win the Premier League / Champions League. I promise you guys that. I promise you guys we will do that. We'll be the favourites to do it. So it's just about if Arsenal are actually going to do what they need to do in January, because too many seasons, we get to January and we do 60% of the business, not 100%. We needed a CDM. We'll bring in Jorginho, not a Caicedo. Yes, Jorginho has been all right for us, but we needed a real Caicedo type player. Do you get what I mean? Like a real proper DM, man. Then we would have shipped out Partey in the summer anyway. We get to the season before. We needed a proper attacking player. Didn't bring one in, man. Stunk up the January transfer window. This January, I don't care if the only player we bring in is a striker. I don't care if we sign no one but a striker. Sign a striker. I know we can spend money in January, because last January we were willing to spend 100 million on Mikhailo Mudryk. So the money's there. The money is there to sign players in January. Don't buy into the lies and the propaganda that, oh, it's January, so we won't spend a lot of money. It's hard to pull off deals in January. Don't buy into that propaganda. If you want it, you can have it. That was proven by the fact Chelsea spent 100 million in January on Mikhailo Mudryk. And then Enzo Fernandez came through the door as well, basically, for them. So the money's there, guys. If Arsenal won an Ivan Toney in January, they can get an Ivan Toney. It's just about whether they're willing to put the money down. So for me, you can't mess up this January Arsenal. Sign a proper striker, man. Keep up Arsenal. Mohammed, appreciate you joining the stream. I think they're doing really well. Yes, let's go, man. Keep it up. Game on the weekend as well to try and get a win there. Steve has to be the best centre-back in the world right now. I'll be real. If he's not, he's top 5 at least, bro. In my eyes, he's top 2, and it's not number 2. Saliba is one of the most composed players at this football club. One of the most composed footballers. And guys, I made this point the other day, right? The only 2 players I actually trust at Arsenal that are world-class, and you might say this is harsh, but there's only 2 world-class players at Arsenal, and that's Saliba and Declan Rice. That's it, in my eyes. Saka and Martinelli are not world-class yet because they go missing at times. Like I said, this season they've been a little bit suspect, Saka and Martinelli. They're not quite been at the levels of last season. I genuinely believe that Saliba and Declan Rice are the 2 world-class players Arsenal have. Them 2 are rock solid, bro. Every game, no matter what the opponent is, no matter what the occasion is, no matter if we're playing home, away, no matter the season, no matter the weather, these brothers will put in a 7 or 8 out of 10 at the very least and dominate. Saliba again today, composed. Declan Rice again today, composed. So them 2, they're our anchors. We need to build the team around them 2, man. Saliba and Declan Rice are Arsenal's 2 best players. For a fact, bro. I'll debate anyone on that. Saliba and Declan Rice are the 2 players we need to build this team around. Hopefully Tommy's okay. Yeah, hopefully as well, because I can't watch Zubchenko play unless it's against the bottom half of the table teams. Hey, Rory. Unfortunately, I can't tune in for long because I'm going live now. No worries. Take care, RD12. Appreciate you joining the stream as always, my friend. The Real Poison Super. Appreciate you joining the stream. I'm doing really well. Bro, get out the Champions League, I beg. You lot are a championship team. That's a bit harsh, man. We've done really well. We cooked Sevilla today, man. We're looking. If it's a championship team, I'll tell you one thing. It's a mighty good championship team, man. But yeah, we cooked them to bits. 10 Man United blow 2-0 and 3-2 leads to lose 4-3. Yes, I saw that. They were 2-0 up, then went 3-2 up, and now lost 4-3. United are struggling in the Champions League, man. United are big time struggling in the Champions League. Now, if I look at the Champions League table for them, I don't want to count my chickens before they lay their eggs, but they could be borderline Europa League, if not out. Let's look at them. So if we look at the By God's side group, so let's look at the table. Where's the table? Can't even see the table. Yeah, so United sit on 3 points. Now, fortunately for them, Bayern Munich have won every single game, meaning Copenhagen and Galatasaray are both on 4 points. But Man United still need to play both Bayern Munich and Galatasaray. So they've got some tough games to go. Their next game is against, who's it against? I can't even see who their next game is against. Great. But they're playing it's going to be a tough game, the next game, Man United, whoever it is, Bayern Munich or Galatasaray. Hopefully, I'm praying Galatasaray win. If it is Galatasaray, I'm hoping Galatasaray win. If it is Bayern Munich, I don't know, man. I'm hoping Bayern Munich win that game as well. I want to see Galatasaray and Bayern Munich through to the next round in my eyes. They've done it. Copenhagen have done it. Big up Copenhagen for doing it, man. Especially again, when they were 2-0 down, they've turned it around big time. And Rashford got sent off as well. Martinelli has completely eviscerated Janalu. It was getting a bit sad to watch. Yeah. I'll tell you one thing, bro. That was borderline bullying. Borderline bullying from Martinelli. He tore that guy to bits, bro. That guy did not know what planet he was on, what ecosystem and what multiverse he was on, man. Somebody give him a portal gun like from Rick and Morty because he did not know where he was. I'm telling you one thing, bro. Martinelli with confidence is a different breed, man. A different breed. When his brother's got his confidence, oh, it's cold, man. So cold. Arsenal can win the Champions League. Nobody's clearly better. I love the optimism, Jeff, but I think Man City and Real Madrid are better than Arsenal. I think Bayern Munich are borderline better. Bayern Munich, whether they're good or not, have got that fear factor in Europe where they always seem to win. Plus, they've got a bit of a what's it called? They've got the record over Arsenal because every time we play them, we get absolutely torn apart. So I think Man City and Real Madrid is a bit of a long day for Arsenal. Bayern Munich as well, borderline. But after that, we're better than every team. Let's be real. If we get knocked out, in my eyes, if we get knocked out to a non-Man City, Real Madrid or Bayern Munich, with something big time has gone wrong at the football club. Something big time has gone wrong for us not to get through. Because that's inexcusable if we get knocked out to a non-Real Madrid, Man City, or Bayern Munich team. Because we're better than every other team. Let's be real about it. Bayern went 2-1. Kane 2 goals after the 80th minute. Galatasaray got a late goal and added time. Man, I need Galatasaray to get at least a point from that match. Commentators all say Rashford red was a terrible decision. It looked red to me based on how cards work now. Been 50 years since I played and cards are completely different. I'll be real, I haven't seen the games, obviously I'm not too sure. But if it's similar to the other red cards we've been seeing recently, where it's like the stud showing, like the Romero red cards, then I guess that's just a day and age nowadays. I should clarify that commentators on the Paramount Plus is a US broadcast. Oh, you've got access to then the Thierry Henry, Michael Richards CBS streams, man. I hope that's available in the UK as well. But yeah, big up to US streams getting to watch that. United play God's next. There we go. What time is that game? Lo and behold, if that game is on before the Arsenal game, I will be watching that for an absolute fact. Champions League, let me see Champions League fixtures. Oh yeah, my typing's terrible. Champions League fixtures. So we have got Galatasaray versus Man United, 5:45 result. Perfect. So I watched Galatasaray Man United match first, then the Arsenal Lens match. My match week 5, 29th of November is going to be absolutely stacked, guys. Absolutely stacked. You can say City or Madrid are better, but it's not a big gap. Could beat them. Yeah, we're capable of beating any team, man. Champions League you can win. That's what I always say, bro. Champions League is much easier than the Premier League to go far in because anything can happen. It's a cup competition. I've seen teams like Tottenham make the final when that team was like finishing 4th or 5th in the Premier League. Let's be real about it. They were not good in the Premier League one bit, but they fluked their way to the Champions League final, beating Man City, Ajax, and teams like that along the way. So anything can happen. Just keep the confidence and never think it's safe in the Champions League. Because I always say, away at Bernabeu and away at Anfield. Now, thankfully, Liverpool aren't in the Champions League, but away at Bernabeu, the game's never safe. That's a tough place to go to, man. So if we do well at home and survive the away games, we will do well in the Champions League. It's any early game on 29th. There we go, man. 29th of November is going to be stacked. Galatasaray versus Manchester United, then Arsenal versus Lens. So yeah, cannot wait for it. But the games this weekend, let's get into my streaming schedule for this weekend. I believe there's a Tottenham game, the early kickoff against Wolves. Arsenal Burnley, I believe, at 3 p.m. That game, I of course will be streaming after the Arsenal game as I always do. Then Sunday, if I'm not mistaken, is Man City against Chelsea or Chelsea versus Man City. So I'll be streaming after that game as well. So I cannot wait for it. It's going to be really, really, hopefully, exciting times going forward. Then after that, I believe it's the international break, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check out the Premier League fixtures so I can tell you that for an absolute fact. So we've got match week 12, 11th of November. And then after that, is it international break? Let's see. International break is the international break calendar. Let's have a look. All right. International break is November 13th to 21st. Yes. So after the games this weekend, it will be the international break, which is a bit of a shame because we literally just had one a few weeks back. But that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. But we'll be back again after the international break with some more streams, and then we get into the thick of it. Because after the international break in November, the next international break is in when's next? Yeah, next international break is in March. So after the November international break, we've got 4 months basically of prime pure football. No international break, just pure domestic football, and that's when the run starts. That's when the actual pretenders and the contenders get differentiated. So I cannot wait for it, guys. Make sure you do subscribe if you're on around here. I'm over to 5,000 subscribers, so you keep up to date with all the football streams on this channel, and especially hit the bell notification button so you do not miss any, and drop a like down below so it helps the channel out as always. But yeah, guys, I'm going to start to round off the stream now because it's been going for about half an hour. To be honest, there wasn't much to talk about in this game, and it was definitely much different to the game against Chelsea and Tottenham. I feel like that game was my favourite game to watch all season, and since then, the 2 games, the Newcastle-Dortmund game and the game again today, a little bit boring compared to that match, but also got the job done. And look, I'll take boring and wins over not boring and losses any day of the week. So good job for Arsenal. Got the result done. A bit of a shame that Sevilla didn't really do much in the game. I wanted more of a contest, to be honest. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. I'll take it for an absolute fact. We progress forward now. And hopefully in our next game, we play against, I believe, Burnley on the weekend. Hopefully should get a very friendly result against them, I'd like to say, because let's be honest, Burnley are not of the caliber of most Premier League teams. We should be wiping the floor of them. And then after that, we go into the international break, hopefully on good form. But I appreciate everyone that's tuning into the stream today. Make sure you do subscribe if you're on around here. And I hope to catch you all in my next one. Take care.